Welcome back everyone to Pineleaf Plays Minecraft Skirmish, and we have pretty much finished the tower. Probably some touch-ups still be done, especially on the stairways, but the main functionality is complete. I decided to use nether brick for the pillars here, and I think that comes out very nicely. Almost wish I had enough nether brick to do the entire tower in it, but that stuff is going to take quite a while to mine for that much nether brick. So I will just settle for the pillars on there. So the altar I think works very well. Very sinister looking. So that could be our little shrine to the necromancer that the necromancer's followers created, which would be very appropriate for Mirkwood, at least in the areas near Dolgudor, which is where we are here. Now up here, I've decided on dark oak doors for this. And up here, I'm thinking of this area, well first of all, in my uses of it is a nice lookout platform, so I can see quite a bits away. I can even see down there, I can see the little outpost I've created. And see quite a bit this way. So if I want a nice view of something, this is a good place to go. And this tower will be seen quite a distance away, as we'll see later on. Now I'm imagining that as for what it was being used for in the game sense, I suspect that this area could be used as a feeding platform for fell beasts and drakes and the like, because they would like a nice high place in order to come down and feed, because after eating I suspect that a fell beast or a drake is going to have trouble getting back off the ground, so therefore they would want a high perch to jump off of so they could take off that way, which is something that some bird species do, and I think it'd be quite appropriate for a creature the size of a fell beast or a drake. Alright, there we go. And then we're down there. Now let's have a nice look at the tower from the outside. Now the outside is probably what's more important anyway, since, let's face it, from the point of view of the skirmish, you're always outside of the tower. You're never inside of it anyway. I had to go through quite a lot of effort in order to get inside the tower, since there are only one or two quests where you could actually see it. So here we have it on this side. Alright, very well. And then on the other side. Now I think that the scaling posed some challenges in here that makes it not a 100% satisfactory project, but I suspect that if I did it at full scale instead of half scale as I did, that I might have been able to get things onto a finer detail. Alright, but I think it came out, under the circumstances, reasonably well. Which means now I have to worry about this thing, the wall. That means I'm going to have to collect a lot more cobblestone and start setting it all over the place. Create a wall, and that's going to be the main part, the main goal of the entire build, is this wall. So that you can stand up here, you'll see this wall with the tower behind it. And of course on top of it we'll have the ballistee, and how I'm going to represent the ballistee is going to be a real challenge, I think. Since you can't do a perfect ballista in the game. Alright, now have I? Yeah, I've obviously been in here before because I see some evidence of my having been through here. Alright. Well, I may need this in order to get some things mined out. Alright. But I want to show you my next little project. It's not going to be the wall yet, because it's about time that I actually build a house. Because I don't actually have one at the moment. What I have is this little outpost here. I know I've been sleeping inside of that tower, which isn't exactly the most inviting place to sleep. And this is hardly what I would call a house. It's a nice place to take shelter in, to know that these things are here reliably, to store some stuff in and all that, but let's face it, it's not what I would call an impressive build. So therefore, I decided that I will build a house back here, the other side of the sheep pen, so that this will be my main area, my main storage area, my main living quarters, and all of that. And that the outpost will probably just be a little storage area for overflow and the like. But now I've set the foundation, but I have quite a bit more, of course, to be doing, and the first thing to worry about are floors. So therefore, that's why I have here the first of the locations, because this room here on the lower floor is being used as a storage area, but on the upper floor I'll be using it as an enchanting station. Though of course, before I could really do anything with an enchanting station, I am going to need to get, well, let's face it, a good number of materials that I don't currently have. Because currently I don't have any leather. But I think I can get leather by going out in this way, out towards the north. And I could run into that cattle that I found near the mountains. And maybe I could bring some cattle here and raise a few and start worrying about leather. That way I can get books and start worrying about enchantments and the like. But first, I want to get this floor done. I've decided how I'm going to do the floor out of wool, since I'm thinking of a black and white, a black down to gray down to white design. And in order to do that, wool is the best material I use for that, because I don't have things like quartz. Okay, I got a small amount of quartz that you saw me get earlier, but I don't have huge amounts of quartz. And to get as much quartz as I would need for this would be impractical. Alright. But here's the idea, is I will have black in the middle, then dark gray, then light gray, and if the room is larger than that, then I will go on to white. So that's the pattern I'm going to be setting. Now here it looks like it's going to have to be a little bit different, since actually I think I could put the black there and I could follow the same one. It's just going to be cut off a little bit. And I'll probably have to cut out the area for the door and then put another piece of wool there when I start preparing the doors. But that's the idea I have on this, is to have a pattern like this for my floors. So I could add a little something to it, and we could put some white here, so we actually make it to the white this side. You could think of it, well, don't think of it as a wool floor. Think of it as carpeting on a floor, probably made of wood or something like that. And I think that will be more typical of what one does in a house. Now here, this room is, I think I want to bring this room out a little bit, because this looks small. Now I did not do anything like, oh, there's a moment there I thought I didn't have a pickaxe anymore. I am doing this off of paper. In other words, I designed it on paper. And this is the first time I'm seeing it in a 3D build. I didn't go to a world to practice it or anything like that. And now let's head on in and take a little bit of rest so that we don't have to deal with tons of zombies or anything like that. I'll probably have to make myself a bed because, let's face it, I certainly have enough wool to make one. So getting wool is... oh yeah. Wool is the one resource that I have absolutely no trouble with because I'm starting this with a full stack of wool in here. I've got a pen full of sheep right here where I can get wool of 4 different colors. So all that I think is going to be fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think a 5x5 for this room is going to be just what I want. Actually, the biggest one I'm going to have trouble with is the dark gray. I have a feeling that's the most likely one I'm going to run out of since I don't have that many dark gray sheep. But if necessary, I could always start breeding a few more. I think I'll need to enlarge my sheep pen because it's a bit chaotic in there right now whenever I try to go in order to shear some sheep. Now here, this is going to be a little bit different. While these 3 rooms I could do is, this room right here is going to be my forge. And a forge with carpeting is, of course, completely silly. So therefore, that's some light gray wool there, and oh, I took a little precaution there. Granite. Here's some polished granite. I think that will make a good floor for my forge. Because using a carpeted floor for a forge sounds like an invitation to start fires. Now this is the kitchen side, and I think the kitchen should also be in the same way. So I'll take it out this way. Good. So that area will then be with stone flooring while the rest of the house will be carpeted. So now let's go into the living room and stairs. Now we're going to have a stairway that's going to be starting 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to need a little carpeting here. And then, so we will carpet. Actually, a little bit different. See, what's the size of this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so right here I will put black wool. And this will be the center point for it this time. Good. And then the light gray. We'll see how this works out. And finally and this one actually goes all the way to the white. And that means then that we will carry... Actually, I think it will be best to carry the granite out this far. Good. Alright, we'll do it this way. And if we need to make adjustments later, then we can do so. But this is the general layout of the house. And what are each of these rooms designed to be? Well, obviously, as I said before, this is going to be my forge, which this will be the chimney where we are going to be... Actually, I might as well start. So that would be my chimney. I may expand the chimney because I do have those others around there. Good. And this will be the kitchen. There'll be a bit of a dining area here. This is going to be a storage room. This is going to be a crafting area. Upstairs at this, I'll have my enchanting room upstairs here. This will be my bedroom. Living room. And this is what I'm going to call my redstone room right now. This is where I'm going to set up things to do experiments with redstone and the like. And I think that will work. Good. So now what I need to do is worry about a porch. That's right. Because right here is going to be the front entrance. Now that I look at this, this is way too small. I think I will expand this out 2 bricks. Can I? Yeah, head out 2 bricks that way. Expand everything out to make the living room a little bit larger, because right now 1, 2, 3, actually, because right now this is the smallest living room in the universe that I've got right here. But right now I think that'll make everything else too large though, would it? No, actually, I think I could also expand the kitchen dining area, because while I've got if we're just a kitchen, fine, but I think we need a little bit larger dining area. So therefore, I will expand this out by 2. And I think that will make things much, much better. Now, what do you use in order to break up silk? Well, it looks like I don't need any tool in particular. I don't know if there's any tool can do it, or if it's... if there's a tool that could make it faster, or if it's one of those things that doesn't matter what you do. Like, let's say if I use this shovel, it doesn't make it any faster. So therefore, it looks like tools aren't used in order to fix up wool. But alright. Now, you don't want to see me take care of all that stuff, but that's the idea there, is I'm going to move everything over 2 spaces to the right, starting right here. This wall, that'll expand the kitchen and the dining area. And the kitchen dining area and the living room, and I think everything will look a lot better when I do that. But I think otherwise this will work. And then I could bring out my porch up here, which I might as well dig that out now. So this area here is what's going to be turning into my porch. There we go. And I want to, well, I have to at least go one more simply. Alright, good. I think that will make a nice porch area. And that will probably be filled in with wood, I think. Dark oak is my preference there, because I'm thinking of using dark oak and oak as my main things here. Now I've left all my dark oak in my house, so I will pick that stuff up. And this is where I will leave you. Next time when we come in here, I will have that moved. And we'll be ready to lay down the dark oak for my tree. But that's all in the next episode of Pineleaf Plays Minecraft Skirmish.